The truck is looking mighty, mighty fine, boys. But it's been a little while now, and there's something we got to do. We got to service something on the truck, so let's go. You guys can see right there, 23,794 miles. It's time to do a fuel filter change. Let's whip this bad boy into the driveway back here. Here we go. So the other day I was poking around on the internet and I saw somebody make a comment about the fuel filter on their 2017 through 2019 F250. And I was thinking, man, I haven't even looked into that. I don't even know when I'm supposed to change that out. First time diesel owner here, so you caught me red-handed. I'm not very familiar with these trucks. I'm learning as I go, but I'm glad I ran across this forum post, and I opened up my owner's manual and went to the index and found out what I needed to find. And on page 579, I'll put it on the screen so it's easier to read, but at the very bottom of that page, it says at every 30,000 miles, it's time to replace both of the fuel filters on my truck. There's a frame mounted one and there's an engine mounted one. So I went in and found the page where it talks about replacing that. It starts on page 359 and goes through page 363. And it's kind of a step-by-step process on changing your fuel filter. Now, I did call Ford and ask them what they charge for a service like this. So we'll cut to that footage.
For the service department, press 1. For parts, this call may be monitored or recorded for quality purposes. To schedule a service appointment, press 1. To speak with a service advisor or for information, press 2. For service... How can we help you?
Hey, how's it going? I have a 2017 F250 and I'm needing to do the fuel filter service on it. How much does that run?
Okay. The fuel filters, you're looking at about $152.95.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Bye. $152.95. I bought mine online for 55 bucks. Do it myself, save $100. So not too bad, not too bad. So after getting off of the phone with Ford, they charge $152 to change out your fuel filters on your trucks. Now that is labor and materials. So speaking of materials, I have those right here. I got them from Amazon for all of $55. Next day shipped. So they came within, I think it was 12 hours of the time I ordered it to the time it hit my doorstep. And I had my fuel filters. Now both of them are in here. This is the engine mounted fuel filter right here. And here is a new gasket for the door on my module. And then here is the new fuel filter for the conditioner module thing under the truck. You know what I mean, the water separator deal. So I have the parts here, 55 bucks, next day ship, which was awesome. And I'm gonna show you guys how to put them on the truck. Super simple, pretty straightforward. Let's do it. The tools you need are real straightforward. You can use a ratchet, or I have this little impact driver here, an extension, and an 8mm socket, and that's all you need. Oh, and your hands. We'll have to unplug and unclip some things, but this is it. Oh, I did forget to mention, you'll need an empty bucket, so I gotta get rid of that trash. Empty bucket. So starting off, we'll need to go to the driver's side and hop underneath the truck, and attached to the frame rail is our first fuel filter. Underneath the truck, looking toward the back of the truck on the driver's side, here's the frame rail. This is our water separator for our fuel system. There is a filter in here, and underneath it, you should be able to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 8mm bolts. Those will come out, but first we need to drain it. So this is our drain plug. You'll twist this and it'll come out from here. Let that drain. You should drain about half a gallon is what the manual says. So we'll let that do its thing. While it's doing its thing and it's draining out, I do want to make note that you're not supposed to reuse this fuel. It says specifically in the handbook, do not reuse, because it does have water in it. So we're going to dispose of this properly and not reuse it. While you're killing time waiting for this to drain, make sure you click on this and follow me on Instagram, Mustang09. Keep up with me when I'm not posting videos. I'm posting on my stories over there or posting pictures and behind the scenes stuff, fun stuff. Make sure to check it out. Instagram.com/Mustang09, link in the description. Oh, a little real close to the camera there. So as this stuff is finishing up dripping, I went ahead and put a towel underneath it just so that we can protect the concrete that's here. I don't really want this stuff seeping into the ground, seeping in and staining my concrete in my driveway. Keep things nice. So let it drip for a little bit longer. It's been about 3 minutes of it draining. We'll let it keep doing its thing, and then we'll go ahead and remove those 5 8mm screws. So I went and grabbed some eye protection in case there's any splashing going on. If you're a 2017 owner like myself, this is the next step is for you. If you're a 2018 owner, you can skip over this, but 2017 guys, we have a line up here we have to disconnect, and then we can remove our 5 bolts underneath. So with that undone, we can now move to the 5 bolts under the filter. Real quick before we finish undoing the bolts, let's go ahead and unhook this electrical connector right here. I found it easier to unconnect these by pushing in first and then pushing the clip and pulling back. Makes it super simple. So I realized before I undid the last 2 bolts that my bucket is too small in diameter to catch everything that's going to come out with this filter. So I went ahead and grabbed something that's a little bit bigger. This is what I use for my oil changes, but you can use it for any liquid. So I'm going to slide the bucket out of the way and put this here to catch anything that falls. So thankfully, it looks like we did a really good job of letting everything drain properly, so we didn't have a big mess when taking out this filter. Let me hop out from underneath the truck and we'll show you the old filter versus the new. As you guys can see here, this is the fuel that came out when we drained it all from the side. It's only about that much of the bucket. That's because I'm pretty meticulous about draining this. I would say every 3rd fuel fill up, so pretty regular, pretty frequent. But there's the old filter. Let's go grab the new one. As I said before, I'm new to the diesel game. This is my first diesel truck, so I can't really comment on how dirty this thing is, if it's super bad or not. It looks pretty dirty to me compared to the new one. Here's the new one. They include it in a nice little bag. It's all Ford OEM parts off of Amazon. Link in the description for these parts so that you can order yours. In order to remove the old one for the new one, you just slide. Should slide out. It unclips. And then you can see everything that's in here. There's actually a pebble. No, just some gunk. So we will make sure this is clean. There is some junk in there. Yucky. So that gets cleaned out. And then you'll see there is a gasket on here, right here. This will get removed and replaced for a new one. So old one out. And then the new one will go in. And just so you guys know, it does sit up a little bit higher as it connects to the other part of the module, so it doesn't sit flush. Alrighty, with that on, take our new fuel filter here and install it. This will go in. You'll see the spots where the hooks slide into. And it clips right in. You can see it's in there. So we'll go ahead and replace this back under the truck. So back under the truck, this will slide into place. Oh, I need my glasses. Go slow here. I'm not going to use the whole force of this impact driver. You guys know me, I like to go crisscross on everything. Alrighty, with that done, we'll need to connect our electrical connector and our fuel line. Bam, that part's done. Anytime I'm working on changing anything with fluids, I want to make sure I clean the area that I worked in where it's spotless. That way, if there's a leak that presents itself in the upcoming days after doing my change, my oil change, fuel filter change, I'll be able to spot it. If you leave stuff behind, you may not know that there's a leak until it's too late, and then you're in trouble. So we'll wipe this area down with just some shop rags. In the handbook, it doesn't specifically call this next step out, but I've seen people comment on it online, and I kind of agree with it. So now that this filter is empty, I feel like we should fill it back up before we move forward. So we're gonna do that. We're just gonna turn the key to the accessory position, not all the way on where the vehicle's running, but we'll let the fuel pump run, and then you'll be able to hear it filling this up. And from what I read online, you'll have to do it a couple of times until you stop hearing it actually fill up. So we'll do that now. Key in the truck. Just going to turn it to the accessory. And there you can hear it running, and it's actually filling that back up where we drained all that fuel out of. This is also a really good time to check for leaks if you have any. So you hear it stop there. I'm going to turn the key off and recycle it the same way I just did. I cycled that key about 5 times before I stopped hearing it actually filling up and gurgling down there. So now we're moving under the hood to the engine mounted fuel filter. First step, obviously, pop the hood. For you guys that have a truck similar to mine, if you're leveled on 37s, it's pretty tall. And I'm 6'1", and I still can't reach. So we're gonna need a little bit of a ladder. Let's go grab that. You can do this one-handed, pop the hood. Right back here with these 3 connectors, that is our engine mounted fuel filter. In the owner's manual, it does say that even though this isn't pressurized right now with the truck turned off, there still could be some residual fuel in the lines. So you'll want an old, just nasty microfiber rag, slip up underneath there when you pull each line out to capture anything that might come out of there. You don't want diesel fuel just running around in the engine bay. So let's go. Looking under the hood, we have our rag mounted underneath our fuel lines here on our engine mounted fuel filter. 3 different style clips. The first one is this red one. You'll push down or pinch into each other and push down. Make sure it's pushed down all the way. This one should unplug. Next one is this blue one. There's a clip just like this on the other side, on the underside of it. So you will pull towards you, push out. That one will unclip. For the last and third clip here, you'll want to push out, and then you're going to squeeze the sides and pull towards you. Just like so. So with all the lines removed, now you will twist this counterclockwise and it will come out. Be careful because there is fuel inside of it. Oh, don't spill out. There we go. With your old filter removed, you have your new one. You'll want to take off this clear cover, sit it back in. It'll sit down all the way, and then we will turn it back clockwise. Now that is remounted, we will put our lines back on. Remember the red one, it clips down, so we'll make sure it seats all the way. You hear a click, push up, we have our blue line. We will check for snug. Finally, our last one, it's on, clip down. Checking, all clean. As we said before, we will take our rag, our towels, paper towels, and clean the area. What I'm going to do next is start the truck and leave the hood popped. Just visually inspect if there's any leaks. If there's not, then this will be done. Alrighty, with all the filters in, we're going to start the truck and make sure there's no leaks, and we're good to go. Long crank. Let it prime. There we go. Uh-oh.
Air bubble.
We'll let it prime a little longer. See, no leaks underneath. It's a good sign. Well, everything seems to be working properly. It took a couple of long cranks for the truck to finally kick over, but that's it for this job. Super simple, save $100, do it yourself, or you can go to the dealership, pay like $150. So I have a beer now, thanks to my friendly neighborhood Camaro owner. We'll step up here so we can hear ourselves talk. So, you guys saw the video where I talked about the neighbor moving next door with the Camaro. This is him. His name is, you say Chase?
Chase Walker.
Chase Walker. You can follow him on Instagram. I'll put that down below. I'll link you down below.
Sounds great.
But we need to get his car back here so we can do a walk around, introduce you guys officially, and then we'll line it up. So
Oh yeah.
I'm excited about that. Getting it to the drag strip. The weather is starting to turn around. It's going to get warmer here soon. The drag strip will open up, so we'll be able to go down there, line them up head to head.
Hell yeah, brother.
He had one caveat though. I had to do street tires.
Yes. Street tires. I don't have any radials, so gotta go street.
We got to make it fair. I'm on NT 555s, the Nittos.
I'm on Continental Extreme Contact, so
he's got a leg up there. But
I'm also 315 wide, so
yeah, I'm 275.
yeah, I'm pretty fat and very.
He is. He got a big booty. So I can't wait to line those up. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, make sure to hit subscribe. We're super close to that 10,000 mark, and I'd appreciate your subscription. Thanks so much for watching, and I'm gonna drink this beer with Chase. Peace.